they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
Now on 2nd and 13. Rodgers. That's complete to his tight end, Mike Gesicki. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives him a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
26.
From the gun on 3rd down, Rodgers. Yeah, that one's going to be knocked away and incomplete. Chidobe Awuzie there to make the play in coverage.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
Sanders' kick is good, and the lead moves to 10-zip. So that's a 7-play drive that ultimately stalls out there at the end.
And things were a little leaky in the beginning on that drive, weren't they? But how about the front 7? As they got closer to their goal line, things stiffened a little bit, forced the field goal.
At their own 25-yard line.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. Nothing for them yet from an offensive standpoint, down 10-zip as they come up 1st and 10. Dak dropping this one off for Zeke. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. Well, using Zeke Elliott in the passing game, that's something Cowboy fans are getting used to. Last year, 77 receptions, and you think back to his rookie season, he had 32 and then 26 his 2nd year, but he's really on the uptick. And he'll scratch out only about a yard up to the 32.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stopped that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
3rd and short yardage. Prescott. The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down.
2 sacks last week. Another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
And a few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point. A terrific return there. 27 yards all told. And the Dolphins will begin this drive in great field position, 1st and 10. On 1st down, Drake. They'll get only a couple down to the 44.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
6:30. Back one.
Check 48's the mic. Check 48.
Box it.
Watch the fly.
Hey, Haywood. 26.
From the 44, Rodgers, and it's caught over the middle. Wilson. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
Rodgers to throw on 3rd and 1. It's complete to Drake. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a 1st down. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
Watch the run. Hey, watch it. Show it up. Whip. Watch the whip.
Right.
Undercrunch.
Right.
Switch.
On first down, it's Drake, and they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 38. Defensive end, DeMarcus Lawrence applied the heat. The Dolphins on 3rd down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 16. Working from the gun, Rodgers. And Wilson has it. And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line. 18 big yards on that one, and a Miami first. This drive, it's been a good mix. 3 passing plays, 3 runs, hitting on all 3 of those passes, and the last one putting him in the red zone.
So wouldn't you think play action right here? Because you've got the ability and had the ability to run it and throw it. Go play action and take your shot at the end zone.
On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. Eluding the pressure right. And that will be caught, but out of the end zone, says the field judge. It's ruled incomplete. Albert Wilson, the intended receiver there. That'll bring up 2nd down.
Check. Watch the default.
Liz. Hey, wahoo! You better be. Look at you.
Throwing again. Rodgers. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. The intended receiver was Jakeem Grant. And it's 3rd down. Something of a rare incompletion. Remember, Charles, last week under 50% throwing the football. That's what he was, but he has turned that around in this game.
Last week was commonly known as a fluke. For him to be under 50%, not normal, not the usual.
And the Cowboys' pressure gets there this time for the sack. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first half. And this one is going to just tuck into the bottom left corner as he gets it to go. And that'll push the lead up to 13-0. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And the results for them have not been strong to this point. 2 drives have ended in a turnover and then a punt.
So would it be too snarky for me to say that they've shown improvement? Because you had two drives with turnovers.
Now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked up by Minkah Fitzpatrick. And the return across midfield and to the 46-yard line.
This interception will go on the record of the quarterback, but as a receiver, you've got to understand where you are in the field. Middle portion, you know it's going to come in hot. Square your body to the quarterback and be ready to make the catch.
18.
54. Here we go, D.
They'll run on first down. Drake. And an anxious moment or two there, but they do get him down. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Shotgun now for Rodgers. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete. The Notre Dame man, Jalen Smith, able to get a hand in and knock it away. That one doesn't find its target, but all in all, he's been much sharper this week. He was under 50% a week ago, and now he's up over 70%.
Well, you know it's standard for quarterbacks and receivers get together for a little extra time each and every day in practice. I get the sense they got together for a lot of extra time this week to try and improve that passing percentage, and it's worked out quite well.
The Dolphins going to take their second timeout as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. The Dolphins on third down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. This is 3rd and 9. Running, it's Drake. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. He's going to need a little mustard on this one. It'll be a 51-yard attempt. So we've reached halftime here, and it's the visiting Dolphins taking a lead to the locker room. As we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution? Or did they think they were just bad plays to call?
Yeah.
We'll find out pretty quickly here if they felt they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out. And he makes it all the way down to the 31. A big play there on the catch and run. 48 yards. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. They'll try the sweep with Elliott. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. The defense showing some anger after giving up the big play. This time they'll lose 1 or 2.
Brings up 2nd and 11 at the Dolphins' 32-yard line.
Slam, slam, slam.
Hey, kill.
I got you, boy. I got you, boy.
26.
On 2nd and 11 now. Prescott. Being chased out left. And a diving grab. I think he got that. Yes. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
Here we go.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Prescott now. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. And he's got another 1st down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 14. Looking back to Cooper's numbers from last year after that trade, he ended up playing 9 games with the Cowboys in 2018. 725 yards, 6 scores. Also had the 100-yard game in the playoffs against the Rams. And if you add up the numbers between the 2 teams last year, he was over 1,000 for the 3rd time in 4 NFL seasons. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
That's complete right around the 8. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam.
And he will fight his way into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Ezekiel Elliott, his 4th touchdown on the year, as they are able to cut into that lead. That's the score you felt they had to have. Feeling the pressure here and taken down. A sack back at the 7.
Well, they tried to get 2 and ended up getting none. because the quarterback had nowhere to go with the ball and ends up getting sacked.
Nowhere to go at all. Great job, though, defensively. They were ready. So the lead back down to 10 as things get a little more interesting, and the kick is away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
Now, how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over. They want to do their part now and show them a little respect and some gratitude by scoring some points.
And to get a little more cushion. Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. Right back to Drake. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Hey, Charlie. Overall.
Now Rodgers operating from the gun. And he will go down. A Cowboys sack. DeMarcus Lawrence able to record his 5th sack of the season. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here.
You go tight. You got tight. You got tight right there. He's coming.
Hey, 626.
Here's Rodgers to throw. And throw right side complete to Parker. It'll be a pickup of 15 as that'll lead to 3rd down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tougher. Guys trying
under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
He punted 5 times in the win last week as this one's away.
The Cowboys take over 1st and 10 at their own 17-yard line.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
This will probably be the last play of the quarter. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the 3rd quarter has come to a close. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. On the RPO, Prescott's going to keep it himself. Throw right side, taken in by Gallup. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Last year, Dak Prescott had 3 fourth-quarter comebacks, and he's in search of another one right now. Now the throw here complete on the right sideline. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. To throw again on 2nd down. Prescott. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. Trying to get their tight end involved finally. That's the first time that they've looked his way. He's kind of been a forgotten man in this offensive scheme.
Yeah, didn't look his way at all in the first half. And I'll bet you the offensive coordinator made a note at the half and said, let's get him involved because he can be a big-time playmaker for us.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
We got 4. Shoot!
We're going to 54. Right here.
Out of the gun, here's Prescott. And he's able to hook up with Michael Gallup. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. But they convert on third with a gain of 22. Here's Prescott. Wide open receiver, complete. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Tight right, tight right. Even. 4 down, even. Bang, bang, bang. Here we go, go to 54, go to 54. Wide eight. Zoom. Here we go, 46. 26.
To the air again, Prescott. He'll let it fly for Austin. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off down at the 2. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. So now he's equaled his interception total from a week ago. Remember, Charles, he had 3 last week.
And you know, all week long, he vowed to take that number down. Told the guys on the team, don't worry, things are going to pick up. I've got this. But he is in a major league rut right now. Let's see if his teammates can pick him up along the way.
You're right. He talked about being cool, calm, collective, rebounding. Not rebounding right here. They'll start the drive with Dre. And he'll take this forward only up to about the 7. Sean Lee, the Pro Bowler, there for the tackle. Good job there keeping him to a short gain. Of course, he's coming off a really terrific performance, reigning NFC Defensive Player of the Week.
And I know people get caught up in, well, if you're the reigning Defensive Player of the Week, you must have made a bunch of spectacular plays. I think you mixed in a few of those, but most of the plays are just like we saw there. Keep them to short gains, make the fundamental tackle.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. They'll run with Drake. And he won't be close to a 1st down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. Here's Austin. Good blocking there. Nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, oh, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, and what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. Throwing again on 2nd down, but this time it's incomplete. Cooper was the target there, but now it'll be 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. They play fake to Elliott. Now Prescott. Cooper's got it. Give them 15 there, and the Cowboys have a 1st. But correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah, you're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
Prescott now 11 of 16 through the air. It's 1st and 10.
Check nickel. Wait. Then we're going to 53. Then we're going to 54. Wide eight. 26.
They'll throw again. Prescott. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40.
Kill. Here we go, 46. 26.
And again, it's Prescott. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Elliott. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
The last play on the completion got them half of what they needed. Now here's a tough 3rd and 5. Prescott yet again. And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes.
One thing that I liked about this guy during the draft process was his motor. Of course, I loved his skills, but he plays hard on every down.
And that motor on full display there as he gets his first NFL sack. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Cowboys in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They come up on a 4th down situation with things not looking particularly rosy. Prescott to throw on 4th. He finds his man. It's Austin. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. They keep the game alive, at least for the moment, as it's a 1st down.
First down. 1st and 10 at the 27-yard line.
I'm here all day.
Prescott to throw. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Michael Gallup, his 2nd touchdown on the season, as they are now just an extra point away from making this a 3-point game. They get one more as the extra point's up and good. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And this one now not quite over yet. Still 2 timeouts remaining defensively. And, boy, having that 3rd timeout would have really helped here.
Another example of why coaches really stress saving your timeouts for when you absolutely have to have them. They go over this all the time.
And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Sean Lee. And he's able to get it back to right around the 27. You got the slim lead late and the football, so why are you throwing it there?
Remember during the year when we asked one of the head coaches, you know, if you're in this spot, why would you throw the ball? And he talked about trust in his quarterback and trust in his offense.
But still.
And then at the end he kind of went, yeah, not really a good reason.
He's back to throw. His throw caught at about the 5. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. A good pickup there of 22. Only way to get the lead here, of course, with a touchdown. And that's what they're gunning for on 1st and goal. Now Elliott. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Back at the 5-yard line now, 2nd and goal. They'll try again with Elliott, and he will take it in for a Cowboy score. Ezekiel Elliott, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon, and the Cowboys have taken the lead. Extra point by Marr, up and good. And that will make this a 4-point game. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
The Dolphins take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. They're down here in a one-score game. At the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on every week in practice, usually on a Friday. They go over this type of a situation, late game situation. What are we going to do when we have the opportunity? They've called these plays a bunch of times. Now's their chance to execute them.
Well, they have the opportunity now. Here's the execution.
Alert 3. Begin. Back north.
Rodgers to throw. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. So back-to-back incompletions, now 3rd and 10. And first things first, before you think about marching the ball down the field, you got to move the chains.
You're exactly right. Got to get back into focus here. Get the first down. That's what's vital to them.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And that will be incomplete. This defense looking impenetrable now. 3 straight incompletions. They're giving him nowhere to go with the football. Maybe a little frustrated back there?
Oh, there's no doubt about it. When you've missed on 3 straight, there's going to be some frustration. But now he's got to make sure that that frustration is temporary, not lingering. Big throw coming up.
Hey, Orbit. He's mine. Tie that left. Mike's 50.
They'll go for it. It's Rodgers. That's to his running back, complete. And unable to break away. They stop him a few yards shy. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And that'll be just about all she wrote for this one. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Mike's to 59. Pick it up, guys. Pick it up.
Down to a knee here. The defense still with a couple of timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them. The Dolphins going to take their 2nd timeout, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game.
59. And I'm coming after you.
And they take a knee. These Cowboys looking good here at AT&T Stadium. Of course, they were really good in this building last year. 7-1 in their 8 games played at home. The only loss was on a Monday night to Tennessee. Now the Dolphins will use the last of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 18 seconds remaining. The Cowboys going to use their 2nd timeout now. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. Prescott, he goes down to a knee, and that should just about do it. A great come-from-behind victory in this one, Charles. And really the difference, obviously, was that 4th quarter. They dominated.
And it has to start with believing that you can make that comeback. Because we've been in games before. We've done games where you just look at one team and realize they have no chance of making it back. Not in the one we just saw here. They did it, and they did it well.
So for Dallas, it's an ideal start as they move to 3-0 now on the young season. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the New Orleans Saints. Meanwhile, for the Dolphins, they'll fall to 1-2, and they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.
Tell me what you want, what you need. Tell me what you wanna give. How much blood would you bleed? I'ma tell you I'm a misconceiver. I'm a believer. Someone better kick my fever. Tell me it's 100 degrees underneath my whole flesh. Everyone tells me it's a bit of a mess. Someone tell the wrist I was never at the end. I would never get it off my chest though. I'm forgetful. Someone better tell me I was always on the edge. Overstay your bearings, I would never underestimate. Oh barely, my bets are off. Everything was better off. Oh barely, my bets are off. Everything was better off. Take your eyes off me, you don't want to see me when I'm gone. Moral of the story was you're wrong. Everything I gave and everything I lost. Good things come at a cost. I left it on your head, and when you ever overstated, your thoughts are never everything you wanted when you want. I'ma take it in the head with the signs of a distort. I'ma leave it on the side. You want the Christ when I breath on this set. Let me speak on behalf of the dead. I'ma leave, I'ma speak. I'm the sick in the head. Come on, come on. Oh, barely, my bets are off. Everything was better off. Oh, barely, my bets are off. Everything was better off. Tell the wrist I was never at the end. I would never get it off my chest though. I'm forgetful. Someone better tell me I was always on the edge. Overstay your bearings, I would never underestimate. Oh, barely, my bets are off. Everything was better off. Oh, barely, my bets are off. Everything was better off. We ain't gon' run, no we don't hide. I could never switch, not a day in my life. Long as my dogs stay by my side. Yeah, we gon' ride till we die. We ain't gon' run, no we don't hide. I could never switch, not a day in my life. As long as my dogs stay by my side. Yeah, we gon' ride till we die. This ain't nothing for the pack. Got 16 sitting in the lap. Whole squad all dressing all black. Every single last one of them got my back. Hey, 20 of us, that's 20 goons. And ice cream whip, triple scoop. I got 3 strikes, ain't got to lose. When it's all on the line, what you gonna do? Come on, I'm highly favored. don't wanna blame me. No conversation, ain't got time for no debating. It's for the taking, no hesitation. Don't try my patience. I'ma pour out one for the set, boy, till there's nothing left. On a run to the bread until we all got them baguettes. Hear them footsteps coming, cause we coming for the check. We ain't gon' run, no we don't hide. I can never switch, not a day in my life. Long as my dogs stay by my side. Yeah, we gon' ride till we die, die, die. We ain't gon' run, no we don't hide. I can never switch, not a day in my life. As long as my dogs stay by my side. Yeah, we gon' ride till we die, die, die.
Yeah, okay, 30,000 in the pocket, no change. Okay, I might pass the ball, but this is no game. Okay, all my girls, they love and hate me the same. Okay, so when I die, I ain't gon' be from old age. Somebody gon' want revenge, somebody might want it now. Right pocket got euros, left pocket got pounds. Somebody gon' want revenge, somebody might want it now. Throw the ball with the right hand, catch with the left, touchdown. Step back, let me get some room. Congrats every time I'm through. Same packet, nobody knew, so I never get confused. Hotel get a bird's eye view. Hotel get a waiting room. Read a magazine while you wait for me, baby. I'll be done so soon. Phone gotta be off. Each store got locks. I got some trusted shoes. Okay. 10K on the countertop. Don't look so shocked. It's nothing new. Okay. Death comes in threes. Wins come in twos. Cash comes in ones. Throw it up, celebrate some news. Ay. I do a good job. Pull up and pop out and pull off. Hat on and hood on. Pedal to metal. When I put my foot on, I got to put on. I got a bad one. They want to keep me. Oh, that's a good one. Pockets are dense. I think my bread is hard as a crouton. Receipts in my pocket don't come with a coupon. Yeah. Okay. 30,000 in the pocket. No change. Okay. I might pass the ball, but this is no game. Okay. All my girls, they love and hate me the same. Okay. So when I die, I ain't gon' be from old age. Somebody gon' want revenge. Somebody might want it now. Right pocket got euros. Left pocket got pounds. Somebody gon' want revenge. Somebody might want it now. Throw the ball with the right hand, catch with the left, touchdown. Touchdown, 8th floor, come down, hotel, lobby. Receptionist, what now? 11 a.m., check out. Might give her one foul, just to tell her it's one now. How come? I need rest, no recess in my schedule. Right. Mama used to serve vegetables, now half the meals got tentacles. Right. Half the Emirates need a reservation and half my money goes straight to taxes. But I don't trip about it, that's what happens when you got dreams closer than a mansion. Plus all your boys got expensive habits. Go. I know what they're thinking, they don't even gotta say it. Nope. They thinking they just made it. I know how to make everybody feel famous. I don't gotta work.